Good day. My name is Richard and a warm welcome to Tutoring with Richard, where we cover the South African school syllabus and nature topics. Today we're going to cover Strength of Materials in 6. The topic of this tutorial is tension in cables, unequal legs. Let's get straight into it. Okay. First thing we need to understand is our formulas. So, alright. Our formulas that I've just drawn on the board, the actual drawing, it will make a lot more sense because YB is equal to YO plus D plus H. So D is your depth, and H is your height. So D is your sag plus your height, so your height difference. That's your height difference. So it'll be much easier to explain if I draw it. Our formulas will be associated with, most of our formulas will be associated with YO, YB. This is YB. They'll all be associated with YA and YB. YA, YO, YB. That's where we get all these formulas. So, the question states, a cable is suspended between two supports which differ in 6 meters in length. The sag in the cable is 7 meters below the shortest support, and the weight of the cable is 100 newtons per meter. The maximum tension in the cable is 4 kilonewtons. Calculate the length of the cable, the distance between supports, the minimum tension in the cable, and number 4, the horizontal distance from the longest support to the point on the cable where the tension in the cable is 3.5 kilonewtons. Alright, this is our drawing and each measurement that needs to be taken. So we will need YO, we will need YB, and we'll need YA. We have D, which is 7 meters. We have H, which is 6 meters. We have A. We'll need to get X2, XP, and XB later. And we'll need L1 and L2. Now L1 and L2 cannot be drawn on this drawing because they are specific lengths of the cable. At each point, at each section, this where they're taken from, it's a specific length, and you can't draw that here. Okay. First of all, we need the length. We need the length of the actual cable. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to take the maximum tension in the cable will be at the longest point. So, Ft max, so that's at the longest point, so Ft max is equal to 4,000 newtons. Right, so H equals 6 meters, D equals 7 meters, Ft max is 4,000 newtons, and the weight W is 100 newtons per meter. Right, so Ft max is equal to WYB. So, that's 4,000 equals 100 YB. So now, to get YB by itself, we divide by 100. Divide by 100, and YB equals 40. YB that is how high YB is. It's 40 meters high. Right. Next point. Now we need to get YO. So, YO, we need to use this formula here of YB is equal to YO plus D plus H. Okay, so what we're going to do is manipulate formula and say YO by itself. We want YO by itself, so let's put this all here into a bracket minus D plus H in a bracket, YB minus D plus H equals YO. Because this will cancel with this, and we are left with YB minus D plus H equals YO. Simple formula manipulation, as basic as it gets. Now, we want YO. So, YO is equal to 40 minus 7 plus 6. 7 plus 40 minus 11. Sorry, minus 13. Now equals, this will equal YO is 27 meters. YO 27 meters long. So we know YO goes from the turning point to the bottom. Not to be spoon-fed. YB is equal to 40. Now these triangles are to help you get your next round of formulas. Right. So YB is equal to YO squared. So YB squared is equal to YO squared plus L1 squared. This is YA squared is equal to YO squared plus L2 squared. And now this is the last one. YO. So, the next part of this is we need to get L1. So L1 is equal to arc OB. And L2 is equal to arc OA. Right, so what we need to work out is L1 is from B to O, that arc, that whole length. And from O to A is L2. So from there to there, that's another length of the cable. Now we've got to work out both lengths of the cable. Now we've got to work out both lengths of the cable in order to get the entire cable, because they want the length of the cable. So first we need to do, so YB squared is equal to YO squared plus L1 squared. So we have, what we need to do now is say we want L1. So L1 squared is equal to YB squared minus YO squared. Now the next step is to take this and root L1 squared equals the root of YB squared minus YO squared. Right, so square root cancels with a squared, so we're left with L1 is equal to the root of 40 squared minus 27 squared, which L1 is equal to 29, 513. So L1 is equal to 29, 513 meters. That is how long that arc is from B to O. Now we're going to get L2. Now we need to get L2. So YA squared YA is equal to YO plus D, which is accurate because to get from A to YO, so YA is the whole length. So D plus YO, it makes sense. If you're looking at your drawing, it completely makes sense. So YO plus D, so YA is equal to 27 plus D, which is 7, 34 meters. So YA is 34 meters long. That is how high the support is. Okay, now YA squared equals YO squared plus L2 squared. Okay, so now all we need to do is just minus one from the other. So YA minus YO, YA squared, YO squared equals L2 squared. When you jump over the equal sign, when you jump over the gate, it becomes a minus and runs away. So YO ran away because we want L2 by itself. Okay, now what we're going to do is square root both sides. Then we have YA squared root of minus YO squared equals L2 because the root cancels the square. Right, now YA is the root of 34 squared minus 27 squared equals L2. So L2 is equal to 20,664 meters. L2 20,664 meters. Now to get L, which is all the way from here to here, that's L. To get big L, it's L equals L1 minus plus L. So that is 29,513 plus 20,664 L equals 50,177 meters. Okay, question number 2 states they want the lengths, they want all these lengths between the support, they want these lengths here. So how to get those lengths is x1 is equal to yo ln yb plus L1 over yo. Now this is the simplest thing in the world to do. All you have to do is take your values that you have already obtained, put them in the formula and plug it into your calculator. That is literally all you have to do. So x1 is equal to 27 ln yb, which is 40, plus L1, which is 29,513, all over 27. Now you just put that in your calculator and you have x1 equals 25,393 meters. x1 25,393 meters. That's x1. x2 is YA L2. Now what we have is 27 ln YA is 34 plus L2, which is 20,664 all over 27 2, 19, 0.45 meters. X2 is equal to 19,045 meters. Okay. That is question 2. Now what we've got to do is work out the distance between the supports, which is x1 plus x2. So x total is equal to x1 plus x2. Which is equal to 25,393 plus 19,045, and that is equal to 44,438 meters. That is the distance between our supports, which is actually L. That's our distance between the supports. There's big L. That's big L1. That's the curvature of the entire cable. Now big L over here is 44, so this is 44,438 meters long. Alright, now they want the minimum tension. Now the next question is, they want the minimum tension. So that is FH is minimum tension, is WYO. So FH is equal to YO, W, which is 100, times 27, FH equals 2700 equals newtons, equals 2,7 kilonewtons. So, in case we need it later, okay, the last question. Calculate the position of point P on the cable where the tension is 3,5 kilonewtons. Okay, so we've got to find out where point P is. So first, LP is the arc OP. And this, we finally have a value for FTP equals 35. We finally have a value for this. You get this value with this question by doing this formula that I'm going to show you. So first we have FTP is 3,500 because it's 3.5 kilonewtons. Now FTP is also equal to FTP is also equal to WYP. So YP That's what that is. So YP is FTP, so 3500 equals 100 yp. Now, what we need to work out is now this we're going to divide by 100 and divide that by 100. Then we have 35 is equal to yp. That'll be important later. Okay. Now from our triangular forces, we have YO, so YP squared is equal to YO squared plus LP squared. So, now because of this triangular forces, we have now YP squared is equal to YO squared plus LP squared. Now we want to find LP. Now what we want to do is find LP. So what we're going to do is make LP the subject of the formula. So we have LP squared is equal to YO squared, actually it should be YA squared minus YO squared. That makes more sense. Now we square root this and we square root that. So LP is equal to the square root of YA is 35 squared minus 27 squared. And that is equal to 22,271 meters. So LP is equal to 22,271 meters. Put it in the calculator. XP equals 20,303 meters. 20,303 meters. And finally, we want XB. So we take X1, which is actually this one here. I marked that wrong. We want XB. And I marked this particular one wrong. This is X1. So, X1, now all we have to do is minus 1 from the other. XB is equal to X1 minus XP. So what we're left with is 25,533 no 25,393 minus 20,303. Sorry, my mistake. Now this becomes XB, and this little sum becomes 25,393 minus 20,303. And this equals 5,09 meters. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm and to grow the channel. Positive feedback is most welcome. I enjoy reading your comments. Please use the comments section to let me know what topics you'd like me to cover in upcoming videos. Be at peace, be kind to each other, and remember, passing well is achievable. Have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.